A bird and a fish can never fall in love, a villager warned. Where would they live after wedding? His fellow queried. Tree or sea, one will miss, another whispered. But love is stubborn, it doesn't obey rules or logic. What if a bird dives deep and a fish flies high? Let's go inside. Obike was heartbroken. His engagement to Adaolisa, the daughter of Chifumuna, had just ended like a broken calabash. Seeking comfort, he visited his friend Cheze, the king's son. I don't think you know sadness, Obike complained. Look, even your garden flowers are happy. Cheze laughed. Do you think the crown comes with a love manual? As a prince, I cannot command love, can I? Now, let me let you into a secret. Kamsiri, one of the palace workers, caught my eyes, but she avoided me as though I was carrying a strange basket of weird things. Obike chuckled. A palace worker, ignoring a prince? Maybe she's not aware. Cheze laughed. No, my friend, she is too muchly aware. I have smiled, winked, and even sneezed, yet nothing. That's tradition working over time. Obike advised, why not subscribe to our favorite channel, this one? If you like, comment, and share her story with others, you would have won her heart. What Cheze and Obike didn't know was that Kamsiri overheard them. Ah! No wonder he's been acting funny lately, she muttered. She remembered Ugonna, a childhood friend whose father later became a chief. He promised her the moon and stars. But when the sun blazed, his love melted. Tradition left them heartbroken. Since then, Kamsiri embraced her work. Love is for those who dream, but as for me, I am awake, she whispered. One evening, Kamsiri was going to serve drinks to Obike and Cheze. Ekutos, a fellow palace worker, deliberately bumped into her, spilling the drinks. Ekutos scorned. Clumsy again. Why not consider serving in a smaller restaurant instead of the king's palace? The other palace workers laughed. Obike cut in. Clumsy? Kamsiri carries so much poise and elegance that she can open a warehouse and distribute grapes in baskets. Sorry, jealousy has disqualified you from receiving a free basket. One palace worker, Adako, concurred. Bam! Ekutos, if you run a carefree tongue, you attract careless trouble. They laughed louder. As Kamsiri knelt to clean the mess, Obike joined her. Are you alright? Kamsiri nodded. Their eyes met briefly and transmitted a mutual connection. It was silent, yet powerful. She hurried away. From that day, Obike started noticing Kamsiri more, but he warned himself, I am a chief's son, tradition forbids me. Also, Kamsiri's thoughts kept drifting to Obike. But why me, she wondered. First, my childhood friend. Next, the prince. And now, tradition is against me. They kept resisting their hearts, but love kept entangling them like vegetable soup. Soon, the palace became busy with gossip. One palace worker mocked. Poor girl with oversized dreams. First, the prince. Now, the chief's son. Another cousin. Guess what? Our king will be her next target. One morning, Adako, Kamsiri's friend, asked, why do you let them bother you? Kamsiri sighed. They are right. Bird and fish love is like the sun chasing the moon. Beautiful, but impossible to meet. Adako chuckled. Eni, that's an opportunity many of us yearn for. Should the prince ever notice me and say, hi, I will say, hello, your highness, with a singing voice. However, be careful, my sister. Borrow wings when climbing high. If the tortoise had wings, its back wouldn't be broken. One evening, it rained suddenly. Obike and Kamsiri were coincidentally trapped in the same veranda. The storm in their hearts was louder than the ones outside. You always avoid me. Why? Obike asked, his tone insistent. Kamsiri hesitated. I am a simple fish, my lord. Nearing you is like climbing a cliff. I'm afraid of falling. Obike replied, why does my heart yearn for you? I've been wrestling with it, but it keeps insisting. Kamsiri's restraint melted. I didn't choose this path, Obike. I resisted it also, but But it's too late, Obike completed it, his voice gentle. You are not alone. I feel you. Rumors of Obike and Kamsiri's growing bond reached Chieze. He invited her. Your heart now beats for my friend, right? He inquired emotionally. But I was the first to. Never mind. Kamsiri responded politely. The heart bends where it wills, Your Highness. Chieze dismissed her. Later, suspicion led Obike to Chieze. Relax, my friend, Chieze said. I was only testing her resolve. She's the palace worker I told you about. Congratulations. Kamsiri deserves someone bold enough to stand up for her. You've won her heart and my respect also. Chieze extended his hand. They shook hands. The seeming rivalry fizzled away. However, each time Chieze saw them together, his heart jerked. But could he have stood up for her? Rumors of their budding connection soon got to the king, and he sent for them. Obike and Kamsiri knelt before him. Obike begged, Your Majesty, please, tell viewers to like and subscribe. Kamsiri nodded, Yes, let them share and comment. We need their support for the task ahead. The king smiled, You're right, and continued. My children, love is sweet and strong like fresh palm wine, but it's disturbing when it confronts tradition. The last couple who dared had regrettable tales. Snakes and bees taught them to respect tradition. Can your love pass the tests? Obike and Kamsiri responded with one voice, Yes, Your Majesty. The king, puzzled, invited Eze Agbara to preside over the love tests. Trial 1 was to fetch the spring water of Mirocha using only a small calabash. Kamsiri and Obike worked together, scooping, pouring, and going to the stream again and again. By midday, Obike groaned. Had I known, he paused, I would have eaten extra yam this morning. Kamsiri's heart sank, thinking he was regretting their love. Relieved, she smiled. Don't worry, you will eat plenty yam when we are done building our nest. Birds do it by going and coming repeatedly without eating extra yam. They laughed. Seeing how clumsily Obike carried the calabash, his sister Nonye teased. Is this how you carried Adolisa's heart? No wonder you broke it. Everybody laughed. Near the final trip, a swarm of bees hovered overhead, reminding them of the king's warning. Kamsiri flung her wrapper over Obike and herself. They stood motionless. The bees, mistaking them for a tree, gradually flew away. Frightened and shaken, Kamsiri lost balance and the calabash fell. It's over, Obike muttered. No, Kamsiri refuted. She tied a piece of her wrapper firmly over it to hold it tighter. We have not come this far to stop this far. By sunset, they were wet but victorious. Nonye sang and danced. The villagers clapped and cheered. Trial 2 was to clear a thorny farm path. Obike swung his hoe at stubborn grass. His hands blistered. Kamsiri knelt beside him, pulling away weeds. Obike stopped, pointing at a movement nearby. A black snake and a green one were struggling. Ah! Kamsiri exclaimed, recalling the king's warning again. They came for us, but went after each other instead. Obike and Kamsiri watched. The green one fled, and the black one pursued it. Both disappeared. Obike quoted a proverb. A cow without a tail depends on providence to ward off troublesome flies. Kamsiri concurred. He who carries nothing breaks nothing. At the end, the villagers rejoiced and congratulated them. One elder remarked, Love is like clearing a path. If done together, leads to somewhere beautiful. Trial 3 was to cook a feast for the entire village without assistance. Obike, the apprentice cook, added much pepper. Obike, Kamsiri exclaimed, do you want the village to somersault? We are cooking soup, not thunder. Obike responded, Kamsiri, remember saying that love is not about perfection, but about trying despite mistakes. This soup will be unforgettable. Like pepper soup, so peppery, yet we keep asking for more. A boy nearby clapped and shouted, Papa, see you! Even the chief's son can walk like us. Regardless of the hiccups, the feast was a success. The villagers began to murmur words of approval. Ezeagbara hailed them and invited the king. The king, though stern and strict, stood and smiled. Obike, Kamsiri, your love has passed the test. But don't think you can erase our traditions. Turning to the crowd, the king raised his staff and declared, "From today, let it be known across the lands of Alaukwu that the tradition preventing a bird from loving and marrying a fish is hereby abolished." The crowd erupted in cheers. Even the sky rejoiced. The sun bathed the village with golden rays. Ekutos, the jealous palace worker, hid in the crowd. Adaku, decked in elegance, approached Kamsiri. "You really soared high and landed like a queen." Kamsiri responded, "Thanks a lot. You were there for me. Without you, chase a curtain." "Adaku, you are a loyal friend. By the way, you look beautiful today." She blushed and responded like a chorister, "Thank you, Your Highness." Addressing Obike, Cheze remarked, "My brother, you've paved the way. Now I can follow my heart to mingle across borders." Obike teased, "Yes, follow your heart, but not anywhere near my Kamsiri." The two friends laughed. Obike turned to Kamsiri. "My love, we've made it. We are now amphibians, able to live on land and water." Kamsiri smiled. "My hero, we'll build a bridge from the sea to the sky where birds and fishes will dance for love." A bird and a fish can fall in love after all. Dear friends, let's talk. What obstacles did your love have to overcome? If you were Kamsiri, would you have chosen the chief's son over the king's son? Did Cheze take Adaku beyond admiration? Express yourself in the comments. Did you enjoy this story? Like and share. Remember to subscribe and tap the bell for more interesting African folktales. Moral lessons. 1. People rejoice when unfair traditions are abolished. 2. Most times, love means standing up for the one you love. 3. Facing challenges together makes love stronger.